This is Perth, and this is Perth's local station, WTV.
Welcome to Undercurrent. I'm your host, Angela McDonald. The internet, it's something that we use almost every day. We take what we want, leave what we don't want. But for children, they might stumble across information that we don't want them to see. So internet safety, that's our first story for tonight.
Talking about parents, what do you think their role? How can they protect their kids and secure safety while they go online?
The best thing to do is, in my opinion, it's just education as often as you can. Sit down and speak with your kids. If they want to go on certain networks, sit down and discuss it with them, why they want to use them. If they are going to use them, sit down, get to know the settings, get to know how they work, and build an environment with your kids so you can grow together in that environment and hopefully get them to understand how they work and, more importantly, to be using them appropriately and safely as well.
If kids are listening to you now, how would you explain to them or educate them to be aware when they can feel the danger when they are talking online or when they are using the social media?
The best thing I can suggest, and how I educate my primary school and my senior kids, is treat your online world with the same level of respect you would your real world. If you're approached by a stranger in the real world, naturally you feel cautious, you feel protective of yourself. But a lot of our kids aren't doing that online because it's a different environment. They might be sitting in their bedroom, so they feel more secure. So my biggest piece of advice is to treat your online world with the same level of respect that you do your real world.
If you want to be more specific about giving their own informations, about uploading their own photos, how they can be careful about that, settings, playing with the privacy settings?
Yes. So as I said, any of the networks they're using, get in, know the settings, how they work. But it's also assessing, most of the social networking is, in particular, they're so popular because of the information that we provide. This is how they make a lot of money, for the information that we're pumping in, not only as kids but as adults as well. So if we can always assess the information we're providing, and I'll give an example, something as simple as a photo of you in school uniform can tell me so much about you. Obviously where you go to school, because I can see your crest. I can tell your age, your gender, and obviously the environment where you're living as well. So it's important we just assess how much information we give. We can still take photos, we can still post them, but we assess how much information is within those photos that can minimise our exposure throughout the entire environment of the online world.
If we want to get to point tips for kids when they go online, either social media or Google or any other website, what top 10 tips?
The top tips for me would be simple stuff like never talk to strangers online. Always be aware of the information that you are sharing and assess your own information. Something as simple as checking your own footprint, your own online footprint regularly. And you can do that through Google. You can search your own name. You can even do what's called a reverse image search on Google. So you can grab one of your photos off your Facebook account, drag that, drop it into a Google search engine, and it'll show you whether or not that photo is anywhere else around on the internet. So little things like that. Communicate with your parents, communicate with your educators if you are feeling concerned. Not so much for the predatory side of things as well, but cyberbullying. If kids are being picked on, it's important they speak to someone, or if they've seen someone being picked on, they should say something as well, because 73% of our kids won't say a thing to anyone.
As internet would have some danger on kids, it's the same for adults. What do you think? How do you think adults should go online and safely?
Adults tend to take a lot more risk than our kids, merely because of probably the environments they're working in, because kids are usually big into social networking and stuff like that, whereas adults, we're obviously into email now, we're banking, we're also working eBay, Gumtree, so we're doing a lot more activity online. Again, it's just about being aware of the systems we're using. Simple stuff like, scams alone in this state are massive. So if we are using Gumtree as an example or eBay, it's important that we look into the legitimacy of the sale. Never transfer money directly into another person's bank account. Make sure that we always use an escrow service such as PayPal. So at least we can guarantee our funds aren't going to go directly to someone's bank account and it's gone forever. So again, it's just about assessing and understanding the networks we're using. Google is a brilliant resource. So if you're unsure, if you feel suspicious about a scam, about being contacted by someone online, or you're not sure of a particular website, then just ask that question in Google. There's bound to be a forum, there's bound to be someone out there discussing it who may have had the same issues as you, or more importantly, may have fallen into a trap that you can avoid simply from just investigating.